All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into something pretty mind-bending. It's a concept called metaphrenia, and what it suggests is that the reality you think you know, the person you think you are, it's all just the tip of the iceberg of a much, much deeper game that's already being played.
Okay, so to really get a handle on this, let's think about a simple game. In classical game theory, everything's neat and tidy. We're all supposed to be rational players, we know who we are, we know what we want. Simple, right? Well, Metaphrenia comes along and just flips the whole table over. It says, nope, we're in a totally different kind of game. One where, get this, the players have no idea who they really are, their true desires are a complete mystery even to themselves, and what drives them can change in a heartbeat.
So where do we even begin? Well, first things first, we've got to deconstruct the game we thought we were playing. It's time to toss out the rule book.
Metaphrenia basically takes the 5 core ideas of classical game theory and denies every single one of them. It says, 1. You are not who you think you are. 2. What you really want is totally unknown to you. 3. Your motivations? They're constantly mutating depending on the situation. 4. The results are payoffs of your actions. You only find out what they are after you've already done something. And finally, number 5, we're all tangled up in this massive, invisible psychosocial web that's pulling our strings in ways we can't even begin to comprehend.
And this is the absolute core of it all. It's a total flip of how we see things. We don't decide to play a game. It's more like we wake up on a moving train. The train was already going, the tracks were already laid, and we're just suddenly there. The game exists before we do, not the other way around.
Okay, so if the game itself is completely different, then what does that make us, the players? This is where it gets really interesting, because our identity isn't a solid thing at all. It's more like a cloud.
So forget thinking of yourself as one single stable person. According to this, a player is more like a probabilistic avatar cloud. I know, it's a mouthful. But picture this. You're not just one you. You're a superposition of all your potential selves, all existing at once. It's only in the moment of interaction, when someone is watching or when you have to make a choice, that this cloud of possibilities collapses into one single observable behavior. Wild, right?
So this really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Who are you when nobody's looking? If your actions are just these collapsed states from all these inner possibilities, it means that what you do isn't always a deliberate choice from a single you. It's more like an echo, a manifestation of this huge, complex dance happening inside you. A dance that, crazily enough, changes the second it's observed.
And we can kind of map these potential selves using 4 universal game archetypes. Now, these aren't personality types. Think of them more like fundamental strategies for dealing with the game. You've got the Jesus archetype, which breaks the whole board with a sacrificial move. Then there's the Buddha, who just leaves the board entirely through detachment. The Krishna archetype is the playful one, the one who messes with the rules and modifies the board. And finally, Socrates, who blows the whole thing wide open by exposing the game for what it is.
All right, let's zoom out a bit, because this isn't just about some abstract game theory. This is supposed to be a model for reality itself. And the model they use is, well, it's like a shop with a secret back room.
So, picture reality in 3 layers, okay? Layer 1 is the window shop. This is what everyone sees, our behavior, our actions, the public you. Step inside, and now you're in the shop. This is our inner world, our psychology, our emotions, our identity. But then, there's the back room, and this is where it gets deep. The back room is the realm of metaphrenia, the hidden engine room that powers everything in the shop out front.
And this is a huge knock against our current sciences. The argument is that fields like psychology and sociology, they're fantastic at studying what happens in the shop and the window shop. They've got that covered. But their big blind spot is that they don't even know the back room exists. They're analyzing the user interface, completely unaware that the real source code is running in a place they can't see.
So all of this leads to a really radical question. What if the goal isn't to control our minds, to master them? What if the goal is to unzip them?
The term used for this is unzipping the mind. And this is important. Think of your rational mind like the zipper on a jacket. When it's zipped all the way up, it's sealed. It creates a neat, contained, rational reality. But unzipping it means zipping it down, creating an opening. And through that opening, the irrational, the superlogical stuff from that back room can finally flow through.
Yeah, and this quote really nails the difference. Think about Nietzsche. He saw the mind's limits as an enemy to be conquered, something to fight and overcome with pure willpower. Metaphrenia is saying, hold on, why fight the door when you can just find the key, or in this case, the zipper? It's a fundamental shift from struggle to access.
And we're not just talking about a small philosophical adjustment here. This is being presented as a full-on upgrade to Nietzsche's idea of the superhuman, kind of like Superhuman 2.0 for the quantum age. See, Nietzsche's version was about a biological evolution, using willpower to rise above mediocrity. The metaphrenic person, on the other hand, is about a dimensional evolution. It's not about overcoming normality, it's about transcending it completely by just resonating with a deeper reality. Okay, to really wrap our heads around this whole dimensional evolution thing, let's use a really simple but powerful analogy. It all comes down to shadows on a wall.
All right, so imagine you're looking at a flat surface, like a floor, and all you can see is a shadow cast on it. You study it, you measure it, and you come to a conclusion. It's a perfect circle.
And you'd be absolutely right. Based on all the evidence you have, it is a circle. You're not wrong. But is that the whole story?
Now, at the same time, someone else is looking at another surface, say a wall, and they see the shadow cast by the same object. They study it, and they conclude with total certainty that it's a perfect rectangle. So now you have a problem. You have two people, both 100% correct based on their own observations, but their conclusions are completely contradictory. So how do you solve this paradox? Well, you zoom out and see the third dimension. You realize that both the circle and the rectangle are just two-dimensional shadows being cast by the same three-dimensional object, a cylinder. See? The circle is the shadow it casts from the top, and the rectangle is the shadow it casts from the side. Both people were right about the shadow they saw, but they were both completely wrong about the true nature of the object.
And this reveals a really crucial principle. The person who can see the 3D cylinder can totally understand why one person sees a circle and the other sees a rectangle. They get it. But the people stuck in their 2D perspectives, they literally cannot comprehend the cylinder. It's outside their reality. The higher dimension can understand the lower, but it doesn't work the other way around.
And that brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. It's a pretty big one. What if your entire reality, everything you see, everything you believe, your very sense of who you are, what if it's all just one of those shadows on the wall? And if it is, what's the cylinder?